Hey, what's up, fight fans? This is DROD'S MMA and Boxing coming at you again. I apologize. I've been pretty much out and about. Been so busy with so many things, life, and I just haven't been able to do these videos the way I know you guys are expecting it. And I just want to apologize, and I'm gonna get back at it. So this video here is just me talking to you guys. It's not really much of a video of a breakdown like I normally do. And I just really want to discuss this whole Manny Pacquiao versus Jeff Horn real quick. This Jeff Horn, when I look at him on tape, he's not a very skilled fighter. He's 28 years old. He's undefeated. You got to give him credit for that much. But I do see some holes in his game. His hands, when he throws his punches, he leaves his hands down. That kind of stuff. Things that make him an easy target to land punches. And he's not super fast, not world-class skill, but like I said, he is undefeated. But there's one thing that people are not considering when they're talking about this fight, and that's the size advantage. I feel like if Jeff Horn is able to do to Manny Pacquiao, which no other fighter has or even attempted to do ever in the career, and that's push Manny against the ropes, make the fight ugly, get rough with him, test that old body out, and see if he's really willing to go to war at this stage of his career. I think that that's his best option. We've seen Floyd go through it, Maradona. We've seen Floyd go through it a few times in his career, but no one has ever been able to do that to Manny Pacquiao. He has good foot movements, lateral movements, but at the end of the day, Jeff Horn is the bigger fighter, and I feel like for him to make this a competitive bout and not get pickpocketed, he's going to have to get into Manny Pacquiao's chest, push him to the ropes, test that body, and see if Manny Pacquiao is willing to go to war. If he does that, I'm telling you guys, we are going to get an exciting fight. And because he has a size advantage. Manny Pacquiao is not a really big welterweight at all. I consider him more of on the line of 135, 140-pound fighter still. I think he has to eat, 10,000 calories in order to get up into 144, 145 pounds. So he's a very small guy. And Jeff Horn looks on tape to be a bigger guy. He's got to use that size. Now, saying that, there's a lot of things that people are not considering about this fight. Number one, I already talked about that, the size advantage, having to rough him up, push him to the ropes. And then there's another thing. This is not a big stage. It's going to be on ESPN, 9 o'clock tonight, Eastern Standard Time, 6 o'clock on Pacific Time for my fans is around the world. I don't know what time that is going to be for you. You're going to have to do your own research. Go to ESPN.com. But it's not a big stage. It's not like a pay-per-view stage where Jeff Horn would have probably written to shell-shocked, being overwhelmed with having to do all the tours, the interviews, the publicity he'd get from it, seeing things in the newspaper about him. This is not that type of fight. And usually when you look at a fighter with the type of inexperience that he has, a big stage kind of puts him in stage fright, and you normally see guys underperform. He doesn't have that. And saying that plays in his favor, and it's going to allows him to be a little bit more comfortable, and you'll be able to see the real Jeff Horn. A lot of times when you see these guys at the big stage, you don't see the real them because of the hype from the fight. It normally gets to them. So that being said, that's a plus for him. The third thing, Manny hasn't stopped anyone in years. So if I'm Jeff Horn, I'm coming into this fight knowing that, feeling more confident that not only am I the bigger guy, I don't have to deal with the stress of doing tours and interviews, but now I know that Manny Pacquiao, even though he's a pretty good puncher and he's a fast puncher, he's slowed down with age, this is going to give me, if I'm Jeff Horn, the confidence to get in the ring. So he doesn't have to worry about pulling punches back and being afraid, because Manny Pacquiao has dropped people in his last two fights, and he's stunned Floyd Mayweather a few times, but he hasn't had that one-punch knockout to really knock anyone out. We have not seen it in years. So therefore, if I'm Jeff Horn and if I'm the trainer, I'm saying, listen, Get your hands up. Don't be worried about the punching power. Don't be worrying about it. Don't give him too much respect. Get this fight on the ropes and make it ugly. The fourth thing is, he's fighting in his own hometown, in his backyard. That's another advantage. You know, they're going to be fighting in front of 15,000 screaming Aussies, all screaming for Jeff Horn. So now he's it's that lift. That lift is going to give him the encouragement. The fact that Manny Pacquiao doesn't have the punching power. I have the size advantage. I can really just be me, and now I got people rooting for me. That is the encouragement and the strength that he will need to push this fight through. And these are things that people are not really considering. Manny Pacquiao is going to Australia, fighting in this man's hometown. No telling who the judges are. I think Bob is probably going to negotiate getting some international judges. But you got to think that this is a good fight for Jeff Horn and for Manny Pacquiao, because Manny Pacquiao is going to get a younger guy. I like this fight because I liked what Manny Pacquiao is doing. It took me a while to really consider it and not be biased about it and not criticize him for fighting Jeff Horn, not criticize him because the whole Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao thing has really exhausted me. I got a lot to say about the two guys and how they treat boxing, but when I sit back and look at it objectively, I like what Manny Pacquiao is doing, and I'll tell you why. Because all of the older guys back in the old generations, they didn't always fight top-notch competition. They didn't have to do pay-per-views all the time. And there's something against, I get it. I want to see the best fight the best. I want to see highly competitive fights. But at the same time, I'm a boxing fan. I understand that there's fights that need tune-up. There's fights to keep you sharpened. There's fights to get the ring rust off. There's fights for showcasing. Not every fight has to be a tough fight. Keith Thurman doesn't have to fight Errol Spence next. He doesn't have to keep fighting tough, top-notch fighters one after another. That's called burning your fighter out and killing boxing. And I think that networks should do a better job. More promoters should do a better job educating the public. You look at the UFC, yes, the best fight the best, but Miocic, I can't pronounce his name, but Miocic, he fought Alistair Overeem. Everyone knew on paper that if he touched Alistair Overeem once, he would knock the guy out. It's not always tough fights after tough fights. Sometimes you got to give fighters' bodies a break in action. And I like this because although he's not fighting a Keith Thurman or a Adrian Broner, which he tried, but Adrian Broner priced himself out. He's not trying to fight these tough fights, but at the same time, he's taking this fight to keep him active, to keep him going, to keep his name relevant. And it's something that the older guys used to do. And the older guys, I mean like Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali fought Jurgen Bland in Switzerland. He also fought Karl Mildenberger in Germany. He would take tours around the world and fight not tough-notch fight, but he would fight these guys. And that way he was keeping himself sharp and keeping himself relevant in the eyes of the people without having to kill his body and fighting, George Frazier, then fight Foreman, and then fight, that kind of stuff. But he was keeping himself relevant. The other thing that I noticed is that and he also fought in Indonesia. I mean, he fought everywhere: Philippines, Puerto Rico, Indonesia, Africa. He fought Rudy Clubbers in Indonesia. Sugar Ray Robinson is another person that did that. He fought Gene Stock in Paris, Hans Stretch in Germany. That's why those guys are, when you talk about best pound for pound of all time, the fact that Muhammad Ali defended his title in Germany against a German, you got to give him credit for that, right? And he was the A side. And, these are a different school of people, and I like that. I like what they did because them going around the world, it expanded their brand, and it kept them sharp, and it made boxing available to everywhere, everybody, in every parts of the town. Young kids got the chance to see Muhammad Ali. People who probably would have never got a chance to see him, got a chance to shake his hand. That's the kind of stuff that made boxing so relevant and made it international, and it made boxing so popular because everybody fought. Mike Tyson fought in Tokyo. And I like what Manny Pacquiao is doing. I can't say enough. He's his own man, and he's his own brand. And I think what I like a lot about Manny Pacquiao is that he's defying the odds. He's putting networks in their places without even having to say a word. He doesn't have to say much at all. He don't have to say, HBO, screw you. No, HBO, I'm going to do what I want to do. You want me to fight this person? I'm going to fight this person. He fought Jesse Vargas and sold over 300,000 pay-per-view buys. That's impressive because he did it without HBO's promotion and backing and 24/7. He's letting them know, hey, I don't need you. And for so long, these networks have been destroying boxing by making fighters fight under the contract. So you see things like Nicholas Walters not being able to get fights in, not being able to stay sharp with his skills, having to wait for HBO to give him a date. And then you have HBO saying things like, oh, well, we don't have enough money to pay all these fighters. But let them branch out. Let them fight for other networks. Let them roam. And I like what Manny Pacquiao's doing because it's from the old school. And you got to give him credit for this. It's a great idea. He's fighting on ESPN. He's fighting in front of millions of people. It's going to be jam-packed. And hopefully he brings out a solid performance. Hopefully he stops Jeff Horn. Hopefully he does what he has to do. Mostly use his footwork, use his lateral movement, stay relevant in the eyes of the public. And who knows, we may get Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao, the second fight. Either way it goes, I think I'm upset with the whole Floyd and Manny Pacquiao and the way they've been treating boxing. But at the same time, at least Manny Pacquiao fought an undefeated Jesse Vargas. At least he fought, he's fighting this guy Jeff Horn, you know. He's still fighting actual boxers. No disrespect to anybody at all. Not really want to try to go there, but I would like to see them fight the younger guys to pass the torch on. And that's my issue with the whole Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather thing. De La Hoya made them guys stars, kept boxing alive. Without De La Hoya fighting Manny Pacquiao, he would have never been the star that he is today. Same thing goes for Floyd. De La Hoya fought those guys. He went down the weight, drained himself for Pacquiao. He didn't do it for Floyd, but at the same time, he didn't have to fight Floyd either. And he made them stars. And it helped boxing. It kept boxing going through the quote-unquote downtime, you know? And that's what I want to see Floyd and Manny do for other people. Fight other younger guys, pass the torch on, pass the mantle on, do for them what Muhammad Ali did for Larry Holmes. Do for them what Larry Holmes did for Mike Tyson. Do for them what Pernell Whitaker and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. did for Oscar De La Hoya. Do for them what Oscar De La Hoya did for them. You know, don't be all about yourself. And Manny Pacquiao, at least he fought undefeated Timothy Bradley twice. You know, at least he fought. He did that for Timothy Bradley, and he did it for Jesse Vargas. And so I can't give him too much of a. I can't be too angry or too upset with him about that. But I believe what he's doing is he's positioned himself for Floyd Mayweather. Other than that, I went on a whole different page. I didn't want to do that for this video. But you guys get what I'm saying. And if you guys look at it objectively like I did, I believe you will appreciate Manny Pacquiao skills. And don't look at the whole. I know that there's so many different sides in boxing. I think boxing is being corrupted with racism. Let's put that to the side and let's look at this objectively. Let's enjoy the fight. Let's give Manny Pacquiao credit to be at his age and to be at such a high level. I still think he can I think he'll beat Keith Thurman. I think he'll beat Errol Spence. I don't know, but it's possible he can beat Errol Spence. You know, he still has that hand speed and the crazy rapid skills that those guys are not accustomed to seeing. Other than that, you guys leave a comment at the bottom. Tell me what y'all think. But like I said, give these guys credit. Watch the fight objectively. Let's leave the bias at home. Fights 9 o'clock tonight, Eastern Standard Time, ESPN. This is DROD'S MMA and Boxing. I should have some new videos coming out very soon. Peace.